Welcome to Got Invention Radio. I'm your host, Brian Freed, and tonight we have the Director of Global Marketing from Alibaba.com, Michael Lee. Thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks for having me.
Nice to meet you actually in person. We saw each other at the Hardware Show 2013 in Las Vegas last week. That was a nice treat to meet you. And again, I know that the inventors are going to be real excited to hear what you have to say on our show tonight. So thank you for joining us.
Sure, I'm excited to be here to share any experience or opinion or insight about Alibaba and our service.
Great. So, Michael, tell me a little bit about yourself personally.
Sure. Again, my name is Michael Lee. I'm the Director of Global Marketing. So I joined the company for about 2 years now, and prior to that, I spent most of my career in marketing for high-tech company. And a few of them were actually in e-commerce. And the reason why I joined Alibaba was primarily because having been in the e-commerce business or industry for so many years, I can definitely see the trend is definitely going up. You know, people are changing their shopping behavior. Everyone is buying online. But more interestingly is I noticed that the need and also a lot of activities between not just consumer but also from business that there's a need and demand to do business online. So Alibaba actually quite fit into that space. That their service is really to help business around the world to do business online. So I think that's a very interesting business model. And I think they will be part of the global growth of this e-commerce, and that's why I joined the company.
Okay, specifically e-commerce, but on the other side also is actually Alibaba in general. I almost look from a business and inventor perspective, Alibaba being a huge network of opportunity for manufacturers, distributors, as well as now that you have the Alibaba website to be able to purchase individual products. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, so Alibaba Group as a parent company, it has about 25 business units, and its focus is on fostering the development of an open and collaborative e-commerce ecosystem. So, the 25 business units cover, not just the B2B, but also include the consumer e-commerce, the online payment, and marketplaces, and cloud computing, anything that basically can form an e-commerce ecosystem. So, and then Alibaba.com, which is the flagship business and also the first business that formed under the group, mainly focused on B2B e-commerce.
So now, as a individual inventor or independent inventor and a business owner, tell me how I can actually use Alibaba. Is it for manufacturing, starting a business, distributors? I mean, there's a lot of different components out there, and a lot of people actually emailed me before the show and said, I've heard of Alibaba, but I don't know actually what they are or what they do.
Right. Sure. So basically, the users I've talked to, I also noticed a lot of different users actually use our service. And typically, I would say anyone or business that they look for to source product or find manufacturer or find suppliers, that they can basically benefit from our website. So some typical entrepreneurs or small business are inventors, right? And then inventors who had an idea, but they need to find a manufacturer to bring the dream come true, to either make the prototype or produce final product, right? So that they will come to our site and look for a business partner, a manufacturer to do business with. We also have a lot of product designers, similar situation. They already designed the product line. They need someone to produce it. We also see, manufacturers, right? So they either source, parts or find raw materials that, they need to import from other countries and to the U.S. and then they assemble it or make final product and then finally sell it to elsewhere. There are also other like trading companies, wholesalers. They're not inventors per se, but they still come to the website and source anything available from around the world and basically resell in their country. So they really, our website really provides, and simply put it, we provide suppliers and we provide products. So anyone who want to look for those needs can benefit from our service.
Great. And your website actually scopes the world. How many countries, do you have an idea how many countries there are that participate in Alibaba?
Yeah, absolutely. So our company actually started in 1999. So right now our platform had grown to close to 37 million users around the world. And we cover, this user came from over 240 countries and regions. And among these users, we have about 2.8 million supplier storefronts that, the product or service cover over 5,000 categories in 40-plus industries.
And how many countries is there available on your web? Like, how many manufacturers or distributors or what have you, how many different countries are there that we can actually choose from?
Well, so there are total, I cannot say exactly how many countries, but total, if you count by regions or even, including different cities, we have about 240 that you can choose from.
Okay. That's unbelievable. It's a huge network. So I just want to give you as an idea of what I've done in the past, Michael. As an entrepreneur, I found specific product that I was interested in, and I took that and I asked the company that I found a manufacturer to private label, and I did business that way. As an inventor, I sourced out different manufacturers that were opportunity for potential producing of my product, and there's been some pretty interesting experiences. But, for the most part, it's a good opportunity. You can also, like you said, source out materials and just there's just so many different things. And you can actually just buy onesie products on there now. So there's a lot of different things for anybody to actually be involved with Alibaba.
That's right. Yeah, especially you mentioned, you can buy one piece, and sometimes you may find, a supplier willing to do that. But also, within the group, we have other business line that are targeting consumers. You may have heard of Taobao, which is a similar eBay service in China, but they deal with consumer to consumer. We also have Tmall, which is a B2C business. But even in the U.S., besides our Alibaba.com, we also have a service called AliExpress.com, which is more like a shopping cart experience, but they are more geared towards targeting consumer.
Okay, let's walk through, Michael. Let's walk through an inventor having a product that they're looking to manufacture. Okay, now I'm a big advocate of making sure that they do a good patent search when they come up with their idea. They do their due diligence, make sure that they have some sort of patent protection, at least a provisional patent. And then they're exploring the opportunity of actually designing a drawing, maybe finding somebody local to do that. And then they're at a point where they have some options, whether they're going to license their product, where there's a distributor that they go to. There's a manufacturer that they go to that has distribution and they add their product to a product line. Or are they looking to manufacture a product where they're looking to go into business on their own? And sometimes they don't necessarily have to have patent protection. They might just have a trademark, or they might have nothing at all, but they're still interested in moving forward with their idea. So they go to your website and they put in similar type of product, let's say, that they're considering doing. And then they see a couple things that come up. They can search by country, they can search by product name or description. So let's say, it's getting warm out, but let's just say, a scarf. All right, so they're interested in manufacturing a scarf. So they go to your site and they put in scarf, maybe out of whatever material that they want, and then a bunch of different search results come up. So, Michael, there's manufacturers and distributors that come up, trading companies. Can you give us a description or give us the term of what that means so people understand the definition?
Sure. So when you do the search, basically you will get a long list of results, and like you said, you will see some sellers or suppliers that they are manufacturers, some are trading company or distributor, because on our platform we don't just limit to manufacturers. There are certainly other companies within the supply chain can list the service. But basically the difference is, if they're a manufacturer, usually they have a factory, they make the product, and then a trading company, meaning they're just a reseller or wholesaler. So a lot of time, I heard people say, "Oh, do I really know they're real manufacturers, or what's the true status?" And that's why we actually, besides offering search, we also offer some filter service that help you verify the suppliers. You can see on a site when you find some suppliers, you will see something that called either on-site check or a supplier assessment. So basically what that means is anyone who came to our site and become a supplier, they will need to go through a very rigid verification process. We actually send people there to validate their information. So, for example, if they claim they are manufacturers, we will actually have to see that they have a real address and also a factory. They are not just a sales office, for example. So, basically, when you see manufacturer on a listing, they are, basically they should have a factory that making the product, producing the product. They have a product line. But I would also, sometimes advise inventors or any user. Basically, sometimes you don't always want the big manufacturer in the beginning, because you don't know whether your quantity will meet the what they call the MOQ, which is a minimum order quantity. You may want to just try out using a trading company to start with. But I guess for Inventor, from its perspective, probably makes more sense to find manufacturers, because I think that's what they want, someone to make that product.
Fine.
But yeah, on the site, basically that's what it means,
Okay.
Trading company versus manufacturer.
Okay, so a manufacturer is somebody, you called them a supplier also. There's a lot of different terms, right? So do you consider a manufacturer a supplier for you?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's our generic term. Basically, anyone who lists the service on our platform, then we call them suppliers.
Okay, fine. Then there are the trading companies. So the trading companies are basically almost brokers or manufacturers or suppliers' agents that you can call, and they may be listed under, like I said, scarves, but they could also source other different products for you.
That's right. That's kind of like a sourcing agent.
Sourcing agent. Now, they're not listed as a sourcing agent. You just look at them, and they're classified as a trading company.
So we classify them as trading company because the category is too broad. Sometimes if we don't label them as sourcing agent, because most of the time these trading companies, they do carry inventories.
Okay. So you mentioned that they need to, the supplier manufacturers need to justify that they are actually manufacturers with a plant and so forth, a factory. How do you verify trading companies?
Same thing. So because like I said, anyone who join our supply program, they will go through this on-site check. And if they say they are a trading company, then our inspector will go there and verify that they are real business. They are the business identity. We need to see the business license, and also basically there to see what their company looks like. So everything has to go through this verification process.
Okay. So continuing through our journey of trying to find the right manufacturer. So as an inventor, we're going to focus on the supplier manufacturer that shows up. Now, when we put in our product, there's that list that comes up. Now, there's some that it shows that they're more premier Alibaba members, and then there's some that aren't. Does that make a difference? And what did the ones that are premier or the ones that are high profile had to do to earn that respect?